Welcome back to Roll for Puppet, the series where we let these dice design our next creature, and today we have a very exciting episode because this one's for you, Order 1972. You are leaving it all up to fate today, so thank you so much for trusting us, and let's get started. First of all, by rolling for your head shape with a d20, and we have a 5, which is going to be for our Owlgon head shape. Now this is a much loved and much used head shape on season 2 mainly of Roll for Puppet, but we haven't shown it here on YouTube yet, so that's very exciting. And then with our chaos dice for our personality roll, we have a sleepy Owlgon. Sleepy is such a fun personality roll. There is so much you can do with it, and I just love the look of creatures who are just so tired and so sleepy and cozy. So we have a lot to be thankful for the dice already, and let's get started making your sleepy Owlgon. So of course we're going to cut out our articulated foam pattern on our handy dandy trusty bandsaw, glue it all together with our contact adhesive for our forbidden honey sandwich, and let's just appreciate how delicious the forbidden honey sandwich is looking today. Remember not to eat it though. Remember that, it may look delicious and inviting, but it's not, it's poison. Once the glue is dry on the body shape that we've created here, we're going to press it all together to form the shape. And then moving on to cutting out the head shape. So this is quite a complicated head shape, there's a lot of different parts, but that is what makes it so fun. And of course, it wouldn't be an Owlgon without the iconic beak. So we're going to get all of that cut out and glued together exactly the same as we did with the body. And everyone, please remember to leave your kind, bountiful offerings for the new bandsaw in the comments, because we all remember what it was like to live without the bandsaw. Actually, if you've just found us from YouTube and you don't understand any of the context from the TikTok series, then you may not remember what it's like to live without the bandsaw, but it was dire times. But once all of that glue is dried, exactly like we did on the body, we're going to press it all together to form the right shape. We have our iconic Owlgon beak, and we're going to be ready to start making up our mouth plate. So we're going to have black fleece, our S for sexy on the wooden mouth plate. Sometimes these are 3D printed. It just depends on what we have in stock. Today we're working with a wooden mouth plate. And we're going to glue all of that together with the forbidden ice cream sandwiches as the little hand straps. We always make sure these are fleece lined so that they're really nice and soft and comfortable for the user. And those are going to be glued together in the mouth plate into the puppet's head, and we're almost going to be ready for our full foam reveal. And with all of these puppets, we normally like to go with black fleece as the lining for the mouth plate because it's nice and neutral, it won't clash with any colours that we accidentally roll later on. But sometimes with a more specific colour scheme or with a build your own puppet, we can have red or pink or something that goes a little bit more with the colours. Speaking of colours, we need to roll for them. First of all, the amount of colours, and we have 2. Those 2 colours are 10 and 11 for orange and dealer's choice. Blessings from the dice gods today. It is always going to be such a good day when the dice trust you. So for this Owlgon with this bright kind of burnt orange fleece that we have, we're going to choose as our dealer's choice brown, which is going to allow us to use this feathery, wispy, very natural looking fur, and it's perfect for an owl creature. The brown and the orange together look so beautiful, and I feel like this specific fur is going to work perfectly for the kind of, well, I don't want to ruin it yet, but we're going to do something really fun with the arms and the hands of the owl, something we haven't shown before, and this fabric is just a really great choice for that. So once it's all sewn up on the body, we're going to move on to making the hands. So we're going to be basing them off our existing hand pattern, but we're going to be adapting it a lot. We're going to make them longer and fluffier and wispier, less rounded, less human-like. The foam structure on the inside with the armature wire is going to be the same, but then the long fluffy fingers are going to extend past that, and they're going to look like big, cute mitten wings. Very different than how we've done Owlgon wings before, and I feel like these will be easier to articulate. And it was just fun to design something a little bit new for this YouTube version of this puppet's head shape. So once those are sewn up strictly in the fluffy brown fleece, we're going to turn them inside out, which was a process. When you're working only with fur, everything is just very thick and harder to work with than fleece. But eventually we got them turned inside out, and just look at this movement. So fun and cuddly and perfect for a sleepy little owl. Now with the bright, not bright, I suppose dark burnt orange fleece. We're going to have that for the beak of the puppet, and we're also going to use it for some features coming in later. Once we've got that glued in place and fitted perfectly for the beak, I'm going to hand sew the seams down the front of the puppet's face and also on the chin in the same orange fabric. Just make sure everything is pinned and very, very neat before I start sewing the seams. And look at this shape. This is such a fun head shape. We're going to move on to making this little custom puppet-sized wig. So you just make sure that it fits the head perfectly, trim it to the right shape, and then we're just going to do a little stitch. And look! It is a perfectly fitted puppet wig. Then we're going to attach the flappy, fluffy arms onto the puppet's body. We have a little happy dance and our colourful reveal. These two colours work perfectly together, and I love how the fabric on the puppet's face is going down, helping to make them look sleepy. Now for our eye shape roll, we have a 5 for pro eyes, which again, I don't think we've shown on season 4 here on YouTube yet. So for a little bit of context, pro eyes are our range of eyes which are hand painted before being cast in resin. They look very realistic. They work great for humans or anytime you want a really realistic, slightly tired looking puppet. So that is a perfect roll for today. They can be kind of tricky to work with because once you've cast them, there's not much you can do with them. So they are very hit and miss. They're very expensive to create. So we're just going to find the right positioning for it. And then of course with a sleepy personality, we need to give them heavy tired looking eyes. So we're just measuring out the same burnt orange fleece to give them a really heavy eyelid, gluing that in place, and then I wanted them as a little extra to have some fluttery eyelashes. I wanted them to look really fluffy and really cute, and eyelashes always help add a little bit extra to the puppet. So I'm going to have it going all the way along on the open pro eye side, and then we have a second resin eye which we're going to have completely closed or nearly 100% closed, and we have a strip of black foam just to accentuate the closed eye. Moving on to our features, we have 4, 9, 11 and 18, and that is going to be for airbrush, clothing, nails and prop. So that's going to be our features roll for today. First of all, we need to give them a fleecy puppet tongue because every puppet needs a tongue. That's just a standardized rule here at Roll for Puppet. Glue that in place, and then for the prop, we found this really cute mini puppet-sized notebook, and we decided that they were going to have a fluffy dream journal companion. This is such a sleepy, cuddly, cozy puppet, and they definitely write down all of their dreams every single night. And we decided to give it a little personality as well, so it's bright, fluffy, soft orange fur, but with a little pair of eyes. And the puppet is going to write down all of their dreams every single night. I think that is just the cutest, cuddliest little prop. It goes perfectly with a sleepy little guy. For the airbrush and for the nails, we're going to have some claws, which we're going to spray bright orange, and we're then going to add some definition along the eyelash and some shadows just generally around the tongue and anywhere where we needed a little bit of extra definition. Clock wipe everything dried. Once those are dry, so that they don't smudge, we're going to attach them to the ends of the wispy, fluffy puppet claws. And these are just such a lovely pop of colour at the end of the brown fur. And finally, as the piece of clothing, we have this really cute, silky, soft eye mask, because this puppet they can't decide if they're going to sleep or they're waking up. All they know is they are tired. And we have it just draped across the puppet's face. Don't worry, it's removable in case the owner doesn't want the eye mask, but we have it draped across the puppet's face. It is helping to block out the light because owls are nocturnal. They are super sleepy, they're saying goodbye to Alana, and they're getting ready to fly off to the little perch and sleep the rest of the day away. So thank you so much for watching. I really, really hope you enjoyed this episode of Roll for Puppet. Thank you so much for spending some time over here and hanging out with us on YouTube. If you would like to support the show and help us continue making these episodes, then you can become a Patreon member. You get these episodes early and ad-free, and you also get loads of fun perks like voting power, access to our Discord server, discount codes, pin of the month, book club. It would really mean so much. But don't forget to like this video, leave us a comment down below with this puppet's name and detailed backstory, and we will see you next week.